Deep in the narrow, winding streets of Yazd, there's an abandoned house that no one dares to live in. The locals whisper about strange lights flickering inside at night and eerie voices that echo through its empty halls. This is the true story of a family who moved into that house, only to flee in terror one fateful night. A few years ago, a family of 4 moved from Tehran to Yazd. The father, Farhad, was an architect, and the mother, Nasreen, worked as a language teacher. They had 2 children, a 10-year-old boy named Amirali and a 6-year-old daughter, Elna. After weeks of searching, they found an old house with a beautiful courtyard and a small stone fountain in the center. The price was unbelievably cheap. The previous owner sold it without hesitation, almost as if he just wanted to be rid of it. At first, everything seemed normal. But as night fell, strange things started happening. On their second night, Farhad woke up to the sound of whispers outside. It was late, and the courtyard should have been empty. The voices were hushed, like a group of people having a quiet conversation in the dark. Thinking it might be thieves, he grabbed a flashlight and cautiously stepped outside. The courtyard was empty. The trees barely swayed in the night breeze, and the water in the fountain was still. But just as he turned to go back inside, his ears started ringing, and the whispers returned. Right behind him. He spun around. Nothing. Shaking it off as his imagination, he went back to bed. But he barely slept that night. A few days later, Amirali told his mother something chilling. "There's a woman in my room at night. She sits by my bed and just stares at me." Nasreen brushed it off as a child's nightmare. But then, one night, she experienced something she couldn't explain. At around 3 a.m., she suddenly woke up, feeling like someone was standing next to her bed. Her heart pounded. In the dim light, she saw the outline of a figure, a woman. She gasped and turned on the lamp. The figure was gone. From that night on, the family began noticing more strange occurrences. Objects moved on their own. The kitchen faucet would turn on by itself. And sometimes, in the dead of night, they heard soft, chilling laughter echoing through the halls. Until one night, when the terror became unbearable. That night, as they sat in the living room, a loud crash came from the kitchen. Farhad rushed to see what had happened. Every single chair in the kitchen had been flipped over, as if someone had violently thrown them to the ground. But no one else was there. He decided to ask an elderly neighbor about the house the next morning. The old man hesitated, then sighed. A woman used to live there alone. People said she was involved with things she shouldn't have been. One night, she simply vanished. No one ever saw her again. And after that, strange things started happening in that house. Every family that moved in either fell ill or left. Farhad's hands went cold. He wanted to believe there was a logical explanation. But what happened next shattered that belief completely. That night, Nasreen decided to record a video of the house on her phone, hoping to capture something unusual. She slowly walked through each room, then aimed the camera at a large mirror in the living room. Later, when they watched the footage, their blood ran cold. For a split second, as the camera passed the mirror, the reflection revealed a woman with a dark, shadowy face and glowing white eyes. But when Nasreen had been recording, she had seen nothing. As soon as they saw the footage, the lights in the house flickered and went out. A slow, raspy whisper filled the room. The family grabbed what little they could carry and ran. They never looked back. Since that night, the house has remained empty. Some neighbors claim to still see lights flickering inside. Others say that if you pass by at night, you can hear whispers floating from the darkened windows. Was the woman's spirit still there? Had she truly been involved with something beyond human understanding? No one knows. Don't forget to subscribe for more true scary stories.